Ian and Anissa are the biggest cryballies on the internet. They will collab with people saying AB isn't acting Arab enough, being blatantly racist.
You betrayed your people, bro. And we gave you so much grace. AB, is that what you want? You want war with your own people? You gon' get it, buddy. I have more of a claim of being Lebanese and talking about this crisis and this genocide while you're out there cosplaying as an Arab and actually trying to cosplay as a white person. He's trying to... Anyways, AB wishes he could have my approval. That's what he really wants. He wants me to be like, listen, guys, AB's one of us.
Anissa will tweet the guy out. Ian will go on his show and get sucked off.
Kind of like starstruck, bro, because like I've been watching you for years, man, and I love you. I love your transformation. I love your evolution. You're such like an inspiration on the internet, and you're married to a nice, good Lebanese woman who will no doubtedly bring your ass over here for a visit. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, she's here. She's bringing one of the hounds in.
So when Anissa is live tweeting the H3 podcast, AB jokingly asked if Anissa is being racist again. Ian frames this as, look at AB being racist.
Has been live tweeting. She doesn't miss an episode, man.
I'm a huge fan.
Let me see what
She's like, did she say camel jockey?
So
something racist on the other side now.
Yeah, she'll hit you wherever it hurts.
So this is already some really, like, we just started, right? AB mentioned some weird, like, I don't even feel comfortable repeating it. Like, he did a weird Arab slur, but it's all under the premise that she is the enemy. So if she is the enemy, if I'm the enemy, you can kind of project any weird racism on us, and that's totally fine.
AB isn't stupid, the viewers aren't stupid. Everyone knows a big reason why AB and his wife are being targeted is because they're Arab.
And I'm not stupid. I know why the fuck me and Lena are the main targets. Because it goes against their fucking narrative that you're this super big racist when you have two Muslims looking at you every day right in front of you. And just they want you alone. They want us all to quit.
Ian and Anissa have since moved on to targeting every other member of the crew. They're saying Galia, the H3 new hire, is creepy for speculating on their financial situation. But she's not commenting on it out of nowhere. It's because you guys uploaded a podcast saying you're broke.
Okay, so here's the deal.
We're poor. Sorry.
Newsflash, we're poor. That's why we're in the basement for a third or fourth week in a row.
They're calling this H3 employee creepy because she's watching the content they put out. Anissa also calls Tom, another H3 employee, a stupid pussy. Tom responded, at least I own my house. And Anissa tweets again. Tom is the most unlikable cast member of the H3 podcast, actually. He's so uniquely stupid and is now self-reporting that he values a person's self-worth based on whether or not they own a home. I don't think Tom actually cares if you own a house. You're being a dick and he's reciprocating. Why does everything have to be a virtue signal? Anissa's echoing Casey Tron's class warfare narrative. Anissa then goes after Kate, who is the boxing coach's wife, and who dedicates her free time to ending child marriage and trafficking. If Anissa wants to call Kate out for getting something wrong, by all means go ahead, but she's just calling her misogynistic for seemingly getting assaulted? I've never seen internalized misogyny quite like whatever Kate Yang is wrestling with, but I hope she gets better soon. I know she left her job because she got her ass whooped by another woman and got a rib crack, so I know she's probably not making many friends. Every part of this tweet is stupid. Kate is not one of these fake activists that does nothing but virtue signal for Twitch bits. She's a real activist that organizes and lobbies to pass legislation.
I have like the articles that I've been in for passing the law here in Washington State, and I plan to announce in the future as well other states that I'm working on. So once they get the bill written up, now they have to ask politicians to sponsor the bill. Once they have politicians to sponsor the bill, then we go to Sacramento and then we lobby. Yeah. What that means is that I have to meet with every single politician every 30 minutes and tell them my sad story, right?
Yeah, over and over.
Anissa is laughing that Kate broke her ribs. Why? She was attacked by a drug addict that her boss was having an affair with.
I didn't know that this person had a substance abuse problem, you know? And so one day she came to work and she was shaking. And I knew that she was on something. And she physically attacked me and she hit me with a wood door and broke my rib. I was assaulted at work. And now my employer is trying to shush me by sending me a letter of defamation. He had his attorney send me a letter saying, hey, if you don't sign this statement saying that the incident never happened, we're going to sue you within 7 days for defamation. And that's why I got myself an attorney. I did win my lawsuit, okay? And Anissa knows all this. I shared this with her because I because I thought she was my friend. That's the reason why we invited them to Thanksgiving.
Only Anissa could try and call out misogyny while laughing at a woman who was assaulted and is being hushed by her boss. Anissa continues, you can be a victim of child abuse / sexual harassment and still be an asshole as an adult. Infantilizing women and victimizing them to protect them from accountability isn't feminism. You haven't even stated what Kate said that was so wrong. It just looks like you're lashing out at a woman who was assaulted and calling her a fake feminist even though she's trying to end the trafficking of little girls. Meanwhile, you're LARPing as an activist. You just text the H3 employees telling them to quit. Ethan's laughing at Anissa, tweeting her to keep digging herself a hole. Anissa then doubles down that anyone that watches H3 is a misogynist, specifically calling out the woman in the audience. The last thing I will say on H3, and this is directed at the audience mostly, the very confused and parasocially invested women, you have no real concept of what intersexual feminism is. If you did, you would have left the H3 podcast within the past 3 years. You like feminism when it benefits you. Oh man, nobody knows feminism like Anissa. She's so smart. If you read in between the lines, she's basically saying if you laugh at or criticize me, you're a bad feminist. That's what this is. When you can feel valid in your hatred for other women or other people to make yourself feel more in control, some of you are the most racist, sexist people in the West, and you need to do some serious self-reflection. Sit with the reality that now half your fan base is now Nazi gropers who watch a guy who does rape reviews. See, I like to judge people based on their actions. Nick has a meme drama show called Rape Review. That's all it is, a meme. Meanwhile, Anissa is taking joy in the fact that this woman got her ass beat who is also a child bride. It seems like you're actually the asshole. And just like her husband, she brings up talking points without giving any examples. I have no idea what she's referring to. She follows up her last tweet with Ethan talking down to a black woman who was trying to explain the Will Smith situation from another perspective to the point where he was invalidating what she was seeing online. Should have been your first clue before October 7th. Only Anissa could somehow make these two things related. He had many moments that should have made you have a more critical eye. We are way past that at this point, and you had many stops to get off. I love how Anissa's big contribution to feminism is getting women to stop watching and working for the H3 podcast. She continues, it's no wonder H3 and their subreddit is praising Kino Casino, two guys that have their own pedophile accusations that I invite you all to look into. None of us know about Kino Casino. The only reason anyone's talking about them is because Ian featured them in his video. You two can look into that. If they're pedos, Ian should have talked about that. It's just another vague accusation from Anissa, and I have no clue what she's talking about when it comes to Will Smith or Ethan debating a black woman. The only thing I could find was a Reddit post from an H3 snark community. She's clearly gotten this talking point from here. Ian also loves this snark page. He shouts it out on stream.
Shout out the Leftovers H3 subreddit.
I watched the video and all it is Ethan disagreeing with a woman on whether the Will Smith slap was justified.
I'm not here to say that it was good, bad, a good or bad choice. It was a choice that was made. And
wait, you're not willing to say that attacking someone for making a joke is a good or bad choice?
What I will say is it was definitely inappropriate to slap someone on national TV live.
What about not live on national television? Should he have slapped him?
What about at a bar?
Yeah.
People get slapped every day. I don't know.
Are they not allowed to disagree on the celebrity drama? Who's infantilizing women now? What's funny is Kate claimed that Anissa views her and Ian as Jada and Will Smith. I didn't think much of this at the time, but now I think there's some truth to it.
And she would come in with like all sorts of drama to the gym. One day she was super dramatic and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? And she related Will Smith slapping to Chris Rock to somehow Ian having to defend her online. So she was like super dramatic the whole day. And I'm like, I can't even train Ian today because she's so dramatic.
The slap? The slap. She's on the slapper side, right? Like she was empathizing with Will?
Yeah. She felt like Will was Ian.
He had to slap.
Yep, Ian has to slap all the people that insult her.
I want to go back and talk about how insane this tweet is. This should have been your first clue before October 7th. He had many moments like this that should have made you had a more critical eye. What did Ethan do that was so bad on October 7th? He criticized people who cheered on a terrorist attack, and he cried for Palestinians who were bombed. But also she says that the Will Smith slap is when people should have stopped watching. That took place in March of 2022. But she went on the H3 podcast that following year. These people just say stuff.
Look how dumb you are.
He was
just
here
lectured people on how judging them for watching the show since 3 years ago, but you were on the show 2 years ago.
But also, like, they are just listening in their free time. You were here to, like, elevate your career.
you know, to benefit from it.
Hila, true. Making videos on these people is always so entertaining because there's zero self-awareness. They cosplay as activists, yet they don't help out Kate with her child marriage bill when asked. They pressure AB to quit because he's Arab. They pressure Olivia to quit because she's a woman. Laughs at Kate getting assaulted. Echoes sentiments about class warfare as they skip out on paying a bonus to their boxing coach. Defend content thieves.
If you find the time to donate to her GoFundMe, I highly recommend it. It's going to a great cause.
And then when the crew's had enough and they finally fight back, it becomes fuck the crew. They made Ian look smelly in a thumbnail.
Now, to the crew of the H3 podcast, I have something important to say. I think you are all pieces of shit. An additional reason why I'm like, fuck the crew, and I'm now fully behind that sentiment. I don't know who the makes these thumbnails, but you might not support what Ethan says, but he's tasked you with editing flies around me and having Asmongold wall set up behind me. My background wasn't disheveled and disgusting enough. They're like, yeah, we need to put some water stains on the wall and really get in here to really add a feeling of disgust and filth.
Ian brings no substance to this stream. He's crashing out because Ethan's basement looks nicer than the one he's living out of at his mother-in-law's.
Let's mock these guys for being in a basement. Didn't they themselves stream from their basement at some point? Yeah, but they spent the time to really make the basement look beautiful. Actually, it's $1 million house or a multi-million-dollar house, so making it look beautiful is pretty effortless, right? It just automatically looks okay.
And of course, Casey Tron, she's getting sued by Ethan for copyright. She can't keep her mouth shut. She writes this whole tweet apologizing for taking her anger with Ethan out on AB and Olivia. But by the end, it almost sounds like a threat. Your boss wants to impose complete and utter financial ruin. I know you and Frogan used to be good friends. You even said to her you'd always be there for her. You realize that type of financial abuse your boss is exposing her to could lead to her earnings being garnished for years. This type of financial harm is extremely vile. Poverty leads to extremely violent, troubling circumstances. What's that mean? Are you and Frogan gonna do something? She continues, do you think exposing multiple people to potentially 200K of life-ruining financial debt is justice and I'm just playing victim? Yes, because you haven't stopped stealing content. Being a victim to Casey Tron just means facing legal consequences. She's still playing videos and TV shows when nobody is there. But the thing is, she is there. You can see her mouse moving. She's just sitting off stream watching the content with her viewers. When she does come on stream, she's watching music videos without saying anything about the music. She just smokes. I'm convinced when she starts her stream, she has no plan. Her agenda is to get high and look at her Discord.
First of all, I want to get high. I do. First of all, I want to smoke my weed.
Even when she has content gold right in front of her, Alex Jones getting unbanned from YouTube and streaming with a Hitler stash, she still can't think of anything to say. She just gets up and leaves.
The way things look, the colorations.
I'm gonna refill my coffee.
What's on a snake? The patterns out there. That's what we have.
When she comes back 5 minutes later, she still doesn't have anything to say.
Mustache, and it was very interesting. I could tell you it had a wild effect on women. I thought they were about to start throwing their panties at me. And they didn't know why. They were looking at me because most modern women, even young ones, don't really even know what Hitler is, but they in the back of their head, they know what it is.
By the look on her face, I don't think she knows who Hitler is. This man claims he proudly predicted that drones weren't flown by aliens, as if that was some incredible foresight he had. Casey Tron has nothing to say about it. She just moves on.
I have predicted intensely in the last 8 months, or longer now, the drone swarming around the United States, particularly in New Jersey, was human, and it was governmental, and it was done as a beta test to create fear for doing it in other parts of the world, namely in Europe, on the borders.
And then she just moves on from that. Not a single coherent thought in her head.
They're trying to deport Hassan, even though he was born here.
This is her stream. It's silent unless she ums. I'm not editing anything here. The only content is the stuff she steals. Wait for it.
Here's celebrities with a lot of money and a lot of power using those things to speak up and bring real attention.
I do love, however, that she briefly hovers over a Reddit post showing that she's screwed. That's funny. Ian and Anissa have claimed the title of eternal victims. They view all of this drama as Ethan starting it. They're delusional.
This man could not understand the video I made and the criticisms I made in the video. He still thinks that, like, that I fired the first shot. Absolutely not.
He's referring to Ethan complaining that you wouldn't stand up for him when he was dealing with the false CPS calls. During that time, you and Anissa were positively interacting with the people who were encouraging it, and then you made a video saying the calls were justified because people were reasonably concerned.
To be honest, I'm very proud that I didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Neela's defense, because when you look into the story, it actually looks a lot shittier for Ethan and Neela. And I do mean that literally.
Putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
People are quite reasonably concerned. And so, yes, anyone who's seeing that content might be concerned enough to call CPS.
Ethan plays a clip of Ian laughing at human skulls getting sent to his house, an obvious death threat, and Ian is surprised Ethan would be upset by this.
I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that, especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that. That made it funny.
Okay, great. I'm going to remember that all of this shit you're dealing with right now is funny, as you said, and it is, frankly.
It's crazy that he uses that clip as some sort of justification. Like, yeah, let's do an hour-long podcast on this guy and his wife, because him not showing empathy after he clearly made a video saying that I was being a piece of shit to him and harassing him without any fucking provocation. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to be very empathetic for the guy who's harassing me, thanks.
You justified CPS calls and death threats towards his family. You deserve to have some YouTube videos made on you. People have since found Anissa's old Reddit account saying, CPS is notorious for taking kids away from parents who don't deserve it and not helping kids who need it. Children being wrongly taken away from families. If you guys know this sort of thing can happen, then why weren't you defending Ethan? Ian's like, Ethan's just salty because this is the first time he's gotten hurt back.
He cut all around the context of her, you know, me being mad that CPS came to my house because
you idiot! It doesn't fucking justify you talking mad shit. You were saying, you gotta say something. I have all the fucking text messages. I'm like, do you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Please talk about it. Like 4 unanswered text messages. And now he's trying to play this and be like, yep, this is what started it all. No, this was the first time that you got hurt back. You were already hurting me and Anissa by sending your fucking goons after us.
Hey, we know that CPS got called on you, but did you know we got mean comments on our podcast? Oh, give me a break. Ian is responding to a stream that's weeks old. He should know all the talking points, but if you close your eyes, it sounds like he's losing a debate.
In the CPS thing, he cut all around the context of her, you know, me being mad that CPS came to my house because what I thought was in a result of a stream Denims did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That is a material fact, dude.
Yes, and a material fact as well is that you streamed and after a fucking CPS call and talked a bunch of people. That's also true. Also a material fact.
Ian is incapable of coming up with a single good point during a stream. He's just like Ethan is mean because he makes content nukes. Meanwhile, I only make content cops.
Attempting to drop a nuclear bomb on me. And now he's...
No, stupid. It was a content cop. You see, it wasn't what you do, which is a nuke. I don't do nukes. You do nukes.
Really? We're arguing over the semantics of video titles? Who cares?
I don't even know what he really wanted me to do at the end of the day. It very much felt like he just wanted me to jump for whatever, you know? Essentially exert his power and authority. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
He just wanted you to publicly state anywhere that calling CPS on them is wrong. Tons of creators came to their defense who don't know them. Why can't his friend? Ian makes very clear that he stands with Hassan, Denims, Frogan, all the people pushing this.
This is what kind of upset me about some people's reaction to the video, is because I think I actually had some of these fucking fence sitters message me or like leave comments like after the content cop, and they were like, man, this would have been so good if he didn't bring on like Hassan and Frogan. And it's like, no, I'm fucking on their side. I believe in the content that they're making and the messages that they're putting out.
These people are liars, crybullies, content thieves. They deserve the heat.
Messages, these people are getting harassed. I'm gonna go make an intro with essentially the people that Ethan has been harassing, and that's what it is. Although Ethan, for some reason, no, not for some reason, for a very obvious reason, viewed it as he's collaborating with my detractors and my harassers.
You did do that. That's exactly what that video was. Deadass, I don't know what Ian's referring to at the time. He provides no context, shows no examples.
Rogan being sued into oblivion.
Absolute f***ing legend. She's able to actually go and touch grass, unlike Ethan. He to this day continues to talk mad shit about Frogan. Super horrible, sexist, Islamophobic shit all the time.
Brother, pull up one example. Another time, Ethan is explaining that going after Kino Casino is stupid because they're trolls.
Look how happy they are. Look how happy they are, Ian.
I love these. Oh my god.
This was the obvious.
People don't do things for optics, Ethan. There's more important things.
Okay, what was the more important thing to get out there? Please explain. He doesn't. He just molds.
There are more important things than being like, I don't want the trolls to see me. I don't want the trolls to see me that I'm hurt. Like, what the fuck? You guys would love their videos. I think the crew should heavily associate with these guys and I think they should bring these guys on to the H3 podcast. I think if they're just trolls and they don't mean no harm, I think you should bring them on. I think these are your new guys. Just like Harley, bring them on, have them say some funny stuff. I think that's a good path for the H3 podcast.
But he never explains why that would be such a bad idea. Ian, none of us know who Kino Casino are. You brought them into the drama. Now you have to explain why they're so bad. Instead, he's blaming Ethan and the boxing coach for these guys making crude jokes.
Anissa was horny and wanted to have sex with this therapist. Well, Anissa figured herself to it.
Yep.
Very crude, obviously.
Very crude. That's the heat that he has. It's crude. That is simply crude. No, dude. It's fucking foul. It's gross. It's fucking every word in the book. It's horrible.
The underlying message of Ian's videos and streams is that he and Anissa should be able to be vulnerable on the internet without being attacked for it or concern trolled.
Was she getting plowed?
That's what I'm saying.
What we're describing here is two grown men who are fantasizing about a stranger and his wife and what they do in the bedroom or don't do in the bedroom. That is creepy, weirdo shit.
And here we have Idubbbz with the bull, folks. There's Idubbbz with the bull.
He's using sexualized terms to describe a picture of me and my dog.
These guys are just making jokes. But when people are speculating that Ethan and Healer are abusing their kids based off of a clip of their dog being sick, Ian makes it sound like it's their fault for oversharing. Dumping.
You're making it so obvious that this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are. You think about what you're saying. You maybe plan for your show a little bit more. You maybe say, I'm not going to have my podcast be an emotional dumping ground for today. You instead say, ooh, it's important that we stay on topic. Like everyone brings up like this isn't what podcasting is. No, you got to take a breath and you step away. If you had a traumatic moment with CPS, you don't go on a podcast and immediately talk shit about people. You don't do that.
Actually, there's probably never been a more justified moment to talk shit. If you watch the first episode of Ian and Anissa's podcast, he says he made it to dump.
I feel like a lot of the things that I've done over the years, including like the apology video that I made, for a lot of people that was like, it's so unexpected and like, what the hell? Like, but like, if you knew me as a person, like none of that would be like super surprising. I think for me, that's one of the reasons is it's like, oh, I just need to sometimes dump a little bit.
You don't see why someone would be mad about strangers coming for their children. If there was a time to show empathy, it would be right now. But Ian disagrees.
Where's the empathy bar? And if you go back and
No, this is something that people get confused about. Empathy, you don't direct it at everything, right? You get a little bit lost if you're empathetic about anything and everything, right? Like, there's a lot of people who aren't very empathetic to the Charlie Kirk situation, as an example. But there are reasons why they aren't feeling a certain way, why they aren't feeling empathetic. And that's because there's a lot of hate and a lot of rhetoric that was damaging to people. So you can't force it. You can't force your empathy. If you don't have any empathy to give, there's nothing to give. What are you going to do? You can't always do that. So Yeah.
So this guy's empathetic towards himself for getting mean comments. He's empathetic towards Denim, Frogan, and Caseytron, who are getting sued for stealing content. But when it comes to a guy whose family was threatened, another dude who was murdered, no empathy. But please, Ian, educate us on immigration. I genuinely don't think Ian knows what empathy is. That isn't just the meme anymore. Everything he talks about is so self-grandiose. How much wiser Ian is.
I just want it to be known that it does take a lot out of me. It's very, like, not good. I've been to plenty of therapy and shit, and I know how much, like, consuming this type of content, like, impacts my mood and, like, stifles some of my creativity. I think it is important to just know that I don't think that this is healthy for anyone to do, but sometimes you need to be a little bit unhealthy. And sometimes you do, it is important. The most empathetic thing you can be is not be empathetic to a particular person.
Wow, Ian's so emotionally intelligent, even when he's not being empathetic, it's actually him being empathetic. This dude can't be real, man. But when him and Anissa get trolled, it's foul, gross, horrible. It's actually sexual harassment.
There's Idubbbz with the bull.
He's doing a joke, dude.
He's doing a joke, is what he's saying. Can you maybe just say that it's f***ing gross and uncalled for and is weird and people shouldn't be doing that?
This is what I'm supposed to feel bad for you for? Who cares? It's not that serious, man. They've been accusing these guys of being pedophiles. No explanation. Instead we get, did you hear this dog joke? Yeah, it was just too gross for me. A little too crude for Ian's liking.
The guy did a humongous joke. The horror. That's you right now, bro.
Miss Mermaid in the chat said, as an adult performer, we generally want people to fantasize about us in that way.
Yeah, that's...
It's good for business.
See, she's even bad.
It's good for business. Wow. That's wild. That's wild. All of the justification for harassment, sexual harassment, mind you, seems to be coming from Hila this afternoon.
Anissa was horny and wanted to have sex with this therapist while Anissa figured herself to it.
By the way, like, this part of the video is very relevant because Ethan, in this moment, he is watching these two guys who are describing in gross sexual detail all of their fantasies based on the information and the, like, stories that he put out on the internet. Like, Ethan's the one who did this. He brought on my disgraced boxing coach. My disgraced boxing coach decided to make some sick little fantasy about what he was thinking was going on at the gym.
When did your boxing coach ever claim that Anissa was having an affair with your therapist? He can't control these guys' jokes. Again, he shows no examples, so I'm left searching for what he's talking about.
When they had them on, my disgraced boxing coach and his dumb as rocks wife, they went into some weird diatribe about how, like, it's weird that a male hairstylist would be cutting my wife's hair. Like, whoa, that's crazy. We're in the year 2025. What the fuck is this freak? What is this creature doing commenting on something like that? Like, you are a sexist fucking weirdo.
I watched both interviews with the boxing coach, and the only times they talk about hair is with their dog.
I love her. She's got a little bowl cut.
Yeah, well, her hair's too long right now. We had to shave her body because we were out.
And Gabe commenting on Anissa's extensions because he's a hairstylist.
He tried to say, like, Anissa said this thing about Gabe posting on her hair extensions and saying something, and she was like, oh, that's so brave of him to make a comment. They are so stupid. Gabe has a full-time job and runs a business. He doesn't have time to watch these shows. The only way he would have known about any of this is if they told him.
Is this the same guy as Gorgeous Gabe? I have no idea. He doesn't explain anything. He's just calling his coach a sexist weirdo.
Have some unresolved sexual tension or fantasies, whatever the No, they yes, they absolutely do. Absolutely. When you say that shit, and there's like, we know Gabe. I get my hair cut by Gabe. This is a nice guy. It's all very platonic and friendly, and I sparred with him. This creepy weirdo shit, is projection.
Bro, for the love of God, show a clip. Do some preparation. In my last video, I touched on Anissa claiming that Michael, her boxing coach, had a moment where he hugged Anissa and wouldn't let her go until she started crying. Go watch my last video if you want to see just how disingenuous this claim is. But in short, Ian doesn't even remember this story happening and remembers it the same way the coach does.
Anissa, you can come here and explain it if you want, because I don't have a fucking recollection of it.
And she replies, nah, it's fine. So I feel like she's just making it up, but she has continued this narrative that the coach is a creep and that's why they didn't pay him the bonus.
When you say the weirdest fucking shit in private boxing sparring sessions that make everybody uncomfortable, you're less deserving of a bonus. Sorry.
Very undeserving of a bonus. Also, I don't know. I could imagine maybe giving someone a bonus if, like, they do a good job. If they do a shit job, no bonus. Sorry.
But you guys worked with him again the following year. Why would you do that if this happened? Yeah, this guy creepily held my wife until she cried and makes everyone around him uncomfortable. That's why we decided to work with him again. Makes sense. The coach invited Ian to his house for Thanksgiving, and Ian and Anissa went because they had no friends or family to celebrate with. But they frame it as if their very presence is some great gift to be around.
She's saying that because we had Thanksgiving dinner with them, as a kind gesture, like it was us and I think one other person for the Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, it was a nice thing to do for our coach and his partner. And like, yeah, I mean, I didn't expect that it was, you know, like next level friendship or even like bottom of the barrel friendship, really.
He's calling it a bottom of the barrel friendship, but Ian, you have no friends. You have no barrel. This is it.
We were invited. We kind of, I think, blew them off maybe 1 or 2 times before that because we're like, I'm not interested in doing a thing. And yeah, so the one time we're like, F it, let's go to Thanksgiving. We're not doing anything. You know, that's not to shit on them. It's just to say, like, it wasn't a big deal to us going to their Thanksgiving thing. We don't know that many people in Seattle.
Doesn't that make you feel grateful that they hosted you? Why are you talking as if he should be so grateful that you showed up?
It was a big deal because I remember it was
it was like at her little apartment or something.
First Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
So it was like a special thing for them. Yeah, I mean, you're just being a dick.
It's special when it's them, but anything that we're talking about, it's no longer special. Like when I'm talking about my love for my wife, they're like, yeah, shut up. Who cares? Of course you're going to be bullied on the internet.
Because them inviting your lonely ass over for Thanksgiving is sweet. Meanwhile, the only time you pronounced your love for Anissa is when she started an OnlyFans and you said double penetration is cool.
My girlfriend started an OnlyFans account, which is a website where you can upload amateur porn. Anything from double penetration all the way over to lewd cosplay and everything in between. And I think all of it is cool. Yeah, I love my girlfriend, and I'm totally fine with dudes jacking off to pictures of her on the internet.
I'm sorry, this was hilarious and a completely unnecessary video. But remember, people, despite everything I've shown you today, none of this bothers them because they go to therapy.
I'm a lot more chill now. It's really hard to affect me. It's kind of shocking, actually, how hard it is to affect, especially online stuff. It's like, I don't care even remotely anymore.
Yeah, that's been a huge relief for me. The most empathetic thing you can be is not be empathetic to a particular person. Insanely stupid man here. Insanely stupid. Lowest IQ man on the planet right here.
In conclusion, I know why Ian's trying to become more like Hassan. It's because Anissa loves him.
The things that she describes like admiring in other people, I'm like, I kind of want to strive to be like those people. Like just being, I think, more thoughtful and like not a lot of these like super toxic masculine traits and like, you know, alpha male, being aggressive, being loud. You know, all this stuff, like she's been very vocal since the beginning that she doesn't like that. And it's like, it's painful in a lot of ways to like even experience someone doing that. Even if you're not connected, it's like, oh man. So yeah, over the years, just being very open to I think what Anissa admired kind of put me on that path.
I liked it better when you were racist. I feel like I'm watching Jerry from Rick and Morty.
You act like prey, but you're a predator. You use pity to lure in your victims. It's how you survive. And you survive because people think, oh, this poor piece of shit, he never gets a break. I can't stand the deafening silent wails of his wilting soul. I guess I'll hire him or marry him.
Parasitic victims. That'll be it for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out my last one and subscribe to the channel. And shout out to the homies over on Patreon: Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Drankobex, Necro Valley, Eddie Bizzle, Tismic Fitz, Christopher H, Xennial Music, Lucas If, Snoopy Poop Doop 2, Amura Malbe, Rooney Boo, Drew is Sharing, Clown Factory, Mustard Shirt Guy, Tiffany 2 Trill, and the mega homies IGP or Taxi, Cyber Katie, Lure Reloaded, Papa Gut, Caden Lulin, BA Subway, Hawk and Load, Kitty Cat, Terox, John Manfreda, Lucas, Katie Huck, Adrian, and Carter.